Well, we'll try this video a little bit and see if we can't show some of the internal works as I put this together, because it pretty much gets covered up. I'm going to try and make the video in steps, and we'll see how it can be put together in a continuous video. This is a basic stand with the rollers underneath so that the turntable, the machine can be rotated. If it's against the wall, this latch can be released in the back. I'll try and get a better shot of the latch later on. But as the turntable rotates on the casters, which have modified stands to get the turntable lower, it will lock it in the forward position. This is the front and this is the rear. But to work on the back of the machine, and it's against the wall, it can be rotated this way so that the back of the machine can be accessed. I'll put the turntable on now to show how that works. It slips on like this, and the machine will sit here with these brackets holding the legs of the machine. We'll try and get a video of mounting the machine later on, but when the latch is depressed, the machine can be rotated like this, and then it snaps in to the forward position to where it can't be moved. I'm going to the front end is open so that when the operator sits in front of it, his knees will fit underneath it if he's sitting on a stool. That'll be more obvious after the machine gets on top. So basically, that's why the casters are there, and the turntable is so that the machine can be accessed in any spot. Well, we're going to try and get the machine on the stand now. Hasn't been up here for over a month because I've been working on the stand, so we'll see how this works. The machine is pretty heavy, but we'll give it a chance. And we'll roll it back. Haven't had a chance to see if the legs fit the turntable yet, but I guess we'll find out for the first time. This is kind of a first chance for me, because we've never had it up here before. So we'll see if the legs fit, and it looks like they do. So as you can see, I haven't weighed the machine, so I don't know. But the legs do fit, so we'll get rid of the harness now and see how things work after that. See what it looks like without the harness. Get it out of the way. So we'll take a few shots of how the machine works without the cabinet on it, and then we'll take some videos of getting the cabinet on. Okay, we'll see if we can't show some of the inner workings here. I've got the switches just hanging there. They'll mount in the cabinet when we get the cabinet put on. We have it, this is the main power switch, and that turns everything on when we're ready to go. Turns the lights on in the back and the front, and turns all the motors on. It also turns the slide on, going back and forth. These are the pusher bars. There's no quarters in it now, but when it's loaded with quarters, the pusher bars keep pushing the quarters closer and closer to the front as they trickle down into the payoff chute. This is the door, which is controlled by the timer in the back, which we'll show in a minute. The timer is set now for 10 seconds, so that when you put in a quarter, it pulses the timer to start the 10 seconds. Every time a quarter goes in, it will pulse the timer and start it back at 10 seconds. So as long as you're putting quarters in, you get a new 10 seconds. It doesn't add 10 seconds, it only starts the 10 seconds over again. When the 10 seconds is up, this door closes and allows the quarters to go into the machine when the 10 seconds is over. If you're still playing within the 10 seconds, it pays off to the person playing it in the front chute. We'll turn it around . This is the belt that the coin slide is mounted to, and as the coin slide slides back and forth, the belt pulls the coin slide all the way to the limit. Likewise on the other side. When we get to the other side, you can see that the belt is going down as this one's going up and pulling the slide back and forth. This cable is on a capstan on a DC motor that is reversible, that pulls the belt forward and backward. This is okay. We ran out of storage on the memory card, so I started it again, and we'll power up here, see what we can see on the back. But this is the DC motor that drives the coin slide back and forth. On the other end of this motor is the capstan that pulls the cables back and forth. This is the cable on the capstan, and these are the lever arms that push the pusher bars forward and back. These electrical bus bars here are basically the different voltages. There's a 48 volt transformer here and this is all, the gear motor is 110. That's 48 volts, the lights are all 110, and there's a light in the back and a light in the front. The opposite side of the machine is here, which the belt opposites this way. This is the rail that holds the coin slide in place. These are the limit switches, and this is there's a limit switch over here so that you can't go beyond the limit, and this is the pulse switch right here. I'll take the camera and get a little bit better shot of the top. These are the limit switches and the coin slide. This is the pulse switch, which starts the timer, and this is the timer over here. The other limit switch is over here. This is one electrical bus bar up here for 110, and actually that's the 48 volt bus bar for the coin slide, and this is the 110 bus bar that runs the gear motor. This is the cam that runs the pusher bars back and forth. This is from the rear, and that's the 48 volt transformer. Over here we'll start putting the cabinet on now. There are basically 11 pieces to the cabinet, and we'll get them all working and put the cabinet on the machine now, see what it looks like with all the woodwork on. Okay, I got the cabinet on, and we just got it loaded with quarters, so it hasn't settled out yet. It may be a little overloaded with quarters. When I turn the pusher bars off, you may hear a few quarters drop, because after a while it settles out to where it equalizes. The red light means that the door is set so that any quarters that fall go into the machine, and when I put this quarter on, the green light will come on over here, and that means that the door is back and it pays off to the slot. So we'll turn it on here for a minute and see how many quarters drop, because I haven't tested it out yet. So we'll get the door opened up, and the door is open, and I'm going to turn on the pusher bars. There go a bunch more. So now the thing is a little bit equalized, and when the 10 seconds is up, so anything that, when the green light goes off and the red light comes on, the 10 seconds has elapsed. So we'll put in another one, and you'll see the light switch and the door opens up. And the reason the 10-second limit is on there is somebody quits playing and they walk away. Quarters don't accumulate in the payoff slot where somebody can come by and get it. But anyway, this is the main power switch there. The door just closed. This is the main power switch, and it'll turn everything on. The doors on the side are rotated. The doors on the side are so that the individual switches each function. This is the 48-volt transformer that runs the transformers. And on the other side there's another door just like it that has two switches for the lights and the pusher bar. But if those switches are on, this turns everything on. If you want to, if you think that it's a little more attractive to put a quarter right there, there's a huge stack of quarters right there, and if you think that's going to pay off, then you can run that went to the machine, that quarter that dropped, because nobody was playing. So if I move this over here, I did get a quarter in there. I don't know that it's going to do any good. When I add a quarter, the 10 seconds starts again. So they are falling. There we go. I win. And that's about all of the demonstration, or we'll run out of chip here. We're still recording, so I'll turn it around. The door just closed. This is the back side. The back door is locked because the cash box is in here. Quarters that go in the machine go into here. Plus it keeps somebody from getting in here and electrocuting themselves. And it has a light in the back so that if somebody's interested to see how it works, they can look through the glass and see that. This is where the timer can be accessed and reset without getting inside here. The timer adjustment is right there. Okay, I guess we can wrap this up now. I suppose after all this work that I've got into it, it ought to have a name, and so I've come up with the name of Wag-to-Dooey. Looks like this, Wag-to-Dooey. It's a Swahili word that the women shout when their husbands come back from a hunt dragging a full-grown elephant. They run out yelling, "Wag-to-Dooey, Wag-to-Dooey." Well, it's an acronym that they learned from the English that means, what are you going to do with it? Well, that's the most frequently asked question I get, is what are you going to do with it? We don't have an answer yet, but in the time being, me and Wag-to-Dooey will just sit here and we'll play with each other. So, all you have to do is sit here and play. I just won 50 cents off a quarter, so I'll keep playing. The best payoff that's made on one quarter so far is about $5.50. So that's not bad. The machine pays off 100%, and there's about $150 worth of quarters in there. So if you don't have anything else to do, you can sit here and hope that you come back a winner. Not paying off yet, but I don't care because I'm still trying to figure out what to do, what I'm going to do with it. So that probably wraps it up, and now all I have to do is figure out how I can move it, because it can't stay here. Well, that should explain most of it. Should explain what I've been doing for the last 10 months. Anyway, I think I'll take a rest. Okay.